Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where
This is the Value Wrestling on the big time, and I'm here with some great news. Are you a Funko Pop collector? Are you searching for some hard-to-find Funko Pops? Are you just looking to complete a collection? Well, the Value Wrestling is teamed up with the Goldmine. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Goldmine, which can be found on Facebook, or by going to the description below and clicking the link, you can sign up to join the Goldmine, who will help you find those hard-to-find, rare pops. They'll help you complete your collection. Just let them know when you're signing up what Funko Pops you're looking for and that the Value Wrestling sent you. The Goldmine, the ones that are going to help you to find those rare to find pops and help you finish your collection. All can be done at the Goldmine. Sign up today and make sure you tell them the Value Wrestling sent you.
It's your boy Miguel Z with the Value Wrestling New Japan Rebound Podcast. I've got a guest for you folks at StocktonCon.
What up, everybody? AJ Kirsch here, the voice and the host of StocktonCon. The value of wrestling is awesome, so subscribe on YouTube. Scan the QR code right here, now. Subscribe, check it out.
There we go.
You'll be glad you did.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, that's what. Hey, man, shout out to Value of Wrestling. I'm right here with the Big O's, San Jose. We done shut the shit down. Love and respect, all right? Value of Wrestling. Hello.
Man, thank you, brother.
This is the Value of Wrestling, the revolutionary force in wrestling podcasting.
Oh, you didn't know? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Value of Wrestling. Welcome to your Smackdown post-show review for April 26, 2024. We are here. We are live. We are in charge. And welcome to some new stuff. If you didn't catch it, we have teamed up with a new partner, the Goldmine. They can be found on YouTube. You can click the link in the description box below. Sign up to join the group called the Goldmine. Fill out their little form and let them know that the Value of Wrestling sent you and help find those rare to hard to find pops. If you're a Funko Pop collector, definitely check out the Goldmine. We have AJ Kirsch and Jacob Fatu opening our show, giving us shout outs. Lots of fun. Thanks to Miguel Z for getting all that done. And ladies and gentlemen, we're here to go over your SmackDown post-show review, give you all the details, break it all down, talk it all out, and discuss it down to the very, very end. And we are glad that you are here to join us. A decent show. We started the draft. I know we got to get through the draft, and hopefully everything will start kicking off. We had a great moment between AJ and Cody at the beginning and kind of towards the end of the show. We got to see some not necessarily new talent. We've seen Carmelo Hayes before on TV, but he is back to show us what he can do. Finally, looks like they're maybe going to get Braun Breaker going in the right direction tonight. He looked good. His impact on the spear looked a little more impactful than the last few weeks, so he's growing, at least with me. I know other people have already backed him, but it was just kind of like, I'm like, he needs to up the ante. I think they're headed in the right direction, but we're going to break that all down. We're going to get into all the skinny, and we're going to talk it all out. And, yeah. And we won't talk about the wannabe brand that's trying to make their names marked on national TV with stupid comments. Anyways, we have the contract signing between AJ and Cody Rhodes for Backlash. And we have a lot of other things that are going on. We see several arrivals. It's draft night. Kayla's back in talks with Paul Heyman. Heyman says there are rumors. There are no rumors about Roman Reigns, just the facts. And the tribal chief has withdrawn his eligibility from the draft, so he's going to remain on SmackDown, but he won't be returning in the near future. Roman won't be the first draft pick again because he won't be here, and the real tribal chief wouldn't hog the spotlight like that. So we got that at the beginning of the show to basically tell you that Roman Reigns is not going to participate in this draft. Paul Heyman putting it out there. The Bloodline did get drafted, but we'll talk about that because it only looked like a portion of the Bloodline. I'm very confused how this all plays out. So we're going to have to wait and see.
All the official Bloodline that's official right now, outside of The Rock and Roman.
Well, and Jimmy was not pictured in that one with Solo and Tamatonga. I know, but
you're right.
He may be hurt, but he's still. I mean, he's still got to be drafted, right?
Make the argument that maybe he's been kicked out of the Bloodline after that beatdown by Tamatonga.
I assume that in storyline, but so it's interesting, but they haven't officially acknowledged that. So it was, I'm just addressing the Bloodline. Roman wasn't there. The Rock wasn't a part of the Bloodline draft, and Jimmy wasn't a part of that. So. I'm just bringing up the point that Jimmy didn't get drafted as part of the Bloodline. Is he out of the Bloodline? We haven't been officially, it hasn't been officially recognized. We know he's injured and out of action for right now, so we'll have to see what happens. Jackie is at the NXT Performance Center with all the wrestlers from NXT and the crowd, and they are watching from there. We finally get something happening live as we see Corey Graves hosting the contract signing of Cody and AJ. First out is AJ Styles. Naturally, he's followed by Cody Rhodes. The contract goes to AJ first. He reads through it, gets his mic, and says that before he signs this, he has a few things to say. Two Georgia boys ready to mix it up for the first time for the biggest prize in the game. He understands the booze and still doesn't respect LA Knight. AJ admits that's why he lost at Mania, but once he regained composure, he got the win back and reminded everyone that he's phenomenal. He does respect Cody. They've never wrestled but have been down the same roads. Both men had to prove themselves outside of WWE. Both men got advice from Dusty Rhodes early in their careers, and AJ learned a lot from him. Dusty taught AJ how to carry the weight of a title. He sees the weight of the undisputed title, and it's not just leather and gold. We're going to find out if Cody can really carry that at Backlash. AJ signs. Cody now considers the contract and speaks. He wants to know what we want to talk about. We can talk about respect and how everyone all over the world respects AJ Styles. Cody respects the past AJ has had to walk, but has to go away at Backlash. AJ has been here before, while implying that Cody might not be able to carry the title. Well, he knows it's not about winning the title, it's about keeping it. He knows they've never touched before, but no matter how phenomenal AJ is, this will not be a dream match for Cody. It's a must-win match for Cody. Cody signs and offers a handshake, which AJ considers. Then says watching Cody finish the story was beautiful, but it's a shame that the run won't last long. Then AJ shakes Cody's hand, AJ leaves, and Cody smartly watches him the whole way out. As AJ heads up the ramp, Cody holds the title high over his head, and he's walking out, but he's interrupted by Triple H. Triple H shakes Cody's hand and brings him to the podium. This is a great opening segment between AJ and Cody. They're telling a great story here. It's too bad they're not touching on a couple of things WWE should throw in there. But they were both leaders of factions in a company called New Japan Pro Wrestling. Well, I guess Cody wasn't necessarily a leader, but they were both part of a faction called Bullet Club. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they could both, throw a little onto that, a little flavor into that. I guess AJ wasn't really a leader of Bullet Club at any point either.
AJ was.
Okay. Was an official leader. Okay. I didn't know if he was an official leader, so he would have taken over after Prince Devitt?
No. Oh, was it Devitt? Then because AJ was before Kenny.
Yes.
So, might have been Devitt. I'm a little shaky exactly.
Yeah, I think it went on the timeline. Mr. Z! You need to fill us in there, but I believe it went from Prince Devitt and AJ. AJ took over, and then AJ, when he got kicked out, it went over to Kenny, and then from Kenny it went to Jay White, and then Jay White to what would be now, David Finlay?
Yep.
Are we following that order chronologically correct, Mr. Z? Or are you off doing something else? We'll find out. Anyways, a great story. Can't wait to see this. And, of course, we get Triple H and Cody at the podium to announce the first round of the draft picks. And with the very first pick of the 2024 draft for SmackDown, we got Bianca Belair. And the crowd went, meh. She's getting better as long as she's in a tag team with Jade Cargill. It helps her. We'll have to wait and see. I'm just kind of surprised she was the first draft pick out of everybody when I can run down a list of people's names that I'm like, that were in this night's pool. I mean, AJ was in this pool. Seth Rollins was in this pool. And they weren't the first draft picks. I guess WWE putting a lot of stock in Bianca Belair. Raw's first draft pick went to main event Jey Uso. Then SmackDown doing a big pop and getting Carmelo Hayes, which I guess he was still NXT, even though he had been on the main roster in a couple matches and went back. So he got drafted from NXT. Carmelo Hayes now officially on SmackDown. And Raw finally drafted Seth freaking Rollins. So there you go. Rollins is out hurt too. So, I mean, that kind of makes an interesting story for Jimmy. Why I don't know where Jimmy is in the pool. But Seth is out hurt because he had his knee surgery. And Seth is not. I think Seth's contract's almost up because I haven't heard he re-signed. We know Balor came out and said, this is where I'm going to stay. Thank goodness Balor's staying with WWE and not jumping over to AEW. Little surprise. Bloodline
wouldn't know what to do with Prince Devitt. Come on.
Well, they just throw him in a faction with Bullet Club. I don't know how he'd fall in there. Anyways, Bloodline didn't get drawn. Carmelo Hayes comes out with the mic. Hayes talks on the stage, puts himself over, then talks to Cody and warns that he doesn't miss when he shoots. As a first-round pick, Hayes will be shooting his shot tonight against Cody. Cody takes the mic and says fortune favors the bold, then plays with the crowd who seem to want the match. He accepts the challenge from Hayes, and they shake on it. And your main event tonight is going to be Carmelo Hayes versus Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship, which means Cody's a fighting champion because he's on TV defending the championship. Because that's what a fighting champion would be. Isn't that what a fighting champion is? A fighting champion is when they're defending the belt, not just wrestling on a show as a champion. They defend the belt. And of course, Cody's had his time to have his little moment. Not just like the first week after the first Raw or first SmackDown after WrestleMania when he won the title is automatically in a match. Sometimes you don't have to book your.
Let's not talk about powder sniff booking. WWE knows what they're doing.
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, okay. We won't talk about that. He's got me riled up.
I know.
He wants to be, yeah. Anyways, we see the LWO walking backstage. Rey and Dragon Lee will be in action after the break, and we get our opening match. It's a tag team match. Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee with Zelina Vega and Carlito versus Humberto. Why did they add a T on his name? Humberto. Humberto. They misspelled it. Instead of being, it's Humberto. It's Humberto and Angel with Santos Escobar and Elektra Lopez. This was a good, solid match. Rey Mysterio 619. Lee follows with the Project Dragon to get the pin. This match lasted 5 minutes 25 seconds. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee get the big win here. Not a whole lot to get it over, but after the match is when we get the important aspects here. Santos Escobar gets on the mic, and after the match, he says he is not a liar. He's a lot of things, but he's not a liar. And Elektra Lopez has been doing a lot of work to track down the footage from the attack from Mania, or before Mania. And they show it, and sure enough, as we said it was, and I'm sure many other people said it was Carlito who attacked Dragon Lee. Carlito stood there in the ring, kind of like, It was kind of entertaining. He shoves Lee into Rey, and then he backstabs Lee, and then he scampers away quite quickly through the crowd. So he didn't really align himself with Santos and Legado del Fantasma. He didn't go jump over there like this was a ploy. He just kind of did his own thing and then ran off by himself. So I don't know if he was working as a, as a spy, or if he's just going to work on his own and got mad at Rey, and now Rey's going to have Carlito and Santos after him. So it'll be very interesting to see. But a decent little match here. Mostly it was about the story. Go ahead.
I almost wonder if we'll eventually get a third faction with Carlito as leader.
Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe Carlito's going away. Who knows?
That could be too.
From there, we get Braun Breaker. He comes to the ring, and we get Braun Breaker. Sheddick tries early, but then bounces off the ropes right into a spear. This match went 16 seconds, a quick spear. The nice thing here was Cedric went for the handspring and was coming back out of the handspring off the ropes. He was in midair when he hit the spear. Beautiful. This is how it should be done. Braun Breaker needs to have that. I feel bad. I love the guy. I mean, he's a hometown boy, but he also makes himself look like an idiot. But anyways, Braun Breaker needs that Goldberg vibe in these to be built up. Just smash for right now. And maybe that's how we get Goldberg coming back for his retirement match. Maybe Braun Breaker. Well, he wants his retirement. He wants his retirement match. He wants it his way. So if he wants to retire right and have a retirement match, why not build Braun Breaker into this undefeated machine on the main roster? Then you can have Goldberg come back for a main event WrestleMania retirement match, calling this kid out, like, quit trying to be like me. You're not Goldberg. You don't know nothing. You have Goldberg, attack him a couple times, and then you have a big match. Let Braun have a match with him, finish him off, send Goldberg on his way, let him have his retirement match. Because we know Goldberg ain't going to AEW because he called it cheesy. I know not everybody wants to see Goldberg come back, but Goldberg wants this retirement match. I think he's going to create a stink. I think, why not capitalize on it and send him off, and this would be the right person to do it for. I mean, he would get a big rub if you could get Goldberg back in favor, really.
If Goldberg's going to put someone over, I could see that better than just giving him a retirement match and giving him a flash win just for a retirement match.
Well, you do got to give Goldberg some wins over some people to at least reestablish him. Again, he does need a short period of time to come in and do a couple quick matches.
I'm saying, like, whatever the final match is.
Yeah, well, and that would be to build to Braun Breaker and him. I mean, you'd build to Braun Breaker and Goldberg, where Braun Breaker would get over on Goldberg. This would be Goldberg's retirement match. I'd have Braun Breaker go out there going, I'm that best. I would even have Braun Breaker going out, who's next? I would give Braun Breaker that catch line. Why not? I mean, it would be the perfect and the right guy. Goldberg can come back and be like pissed off. You got to at least build Goldberg back up, though. That's the only thing. So you do got to feed him.
I don't mind.
You got to feed him some people.
Game I'm worried about. Not
but
so
you have
how to get there.
But let Braun Breaker go 170-0. I mean, you have to give Braun Breaker that undefeated streak. You know what I'm saying? So then when Goldberg gets here and he's who's next, and Goldberg can show up, and then you just got to give Goldberg some dominant wins. Maybe you put this match at WrestleMania. Goldberg is going to come after Breaker. Breaker wants to be, okay, I'll wrestle you. Like, I shouldn't have to wrestle all the time, but here's the deal. If I beat you, you have to retire. You have to go away. You can never come back again. And there you go.
And so there's big time fantasy booking on how WWE can outdo AEW for Goldberg's retirement match.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, some people aren't going to like it because Goldberg is going to have to come back and squash a couple names, and they're going to have to be some decent names. I mean, you could probably have him go squash Lashley because I think he hasn't gotten his victory back on Lashley. Lashley's not. It'd be a big win for it look like a big win, but Bobby Lashley really isn't being used. I think you could run him through a couple other people. If Carlito's around, Goldberg could run through Carlito. People that he really wouldn't hurt, but still help build his collateral. So when he took on Braun Breaker again, at least they'd be at that level again. Because the only thing is WWE and Goldberg's last leave, Goldberg is not at that level anymore. Mm-hmm. So he needs that to be built back up. During a replay of the Spear, spotted our Uncle Howdy or our QR code. Little interruption there. Next, we get a replay of Tiffany Stratton interfering in the women's title match last week. In the back, Nick Aldis walks out of his office and Tiffany interrupts. She wants a title match and Aldis is close to sending her back to the back of the line, but Bayley convinced him to have Naomi and Tiffany wrestle tonight for a title shot at Backlash. And then we continue with the draft, and out comes Michelle McCool Taker and Tori Hall of Fame Wilson to tell us about the next picks. Mr. Clarke was probably very happy with this scenery. No? You're not a Michelle Cool? I thought you were Tori Wilson?
Tori Wilson, yes.
Okay. You didn't like, I thought you liked Lay Cool.
No, I like Layla. Not the tag team.
Anyways, Tori McCool out here to announce the next round. We are in the second round, and with the first pick of the second round, Randy Orton gets picked up by SmackDown. Then from there, Raw, and I know some people are going to be upset about this. I know some commentators were saying it was very weird to have Braun Breaker and Jade in these, possibly have them in these drafts, because they just signed with SmackDown. They made a big deal about signing Braun Breaker to SmackDown, but Braun Breaker is now going to go to Raw. SmackDown's
also kind of the point in story and kayfabe about a draft. Like,
yes.
You never know, despite where they were signed.
Exactly. From there, we get the SmackDown next pick, which was really, really confusing why we got this one on TV, because they're still announcing draft picks off air on social media. We got Nia Jax. And the crowd went numb. Or mum. And Raw's final picks was Liv Morgan. Commentary then mentioned how surprising it is that the Bloodline have not been picked up with Roman out of the pool. That leads to a recap of Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga fighting with Kevin Owens. We're in the back where we see Paul Heyman. He waits as Solo and Tonga arrive. Paul Heyman stands there for a minute. Nobody gets out of the car. And then Paul Heyman realizes he needs to go open the door. He goes and opens the door for Solo. I don't know where we're going with this. I hope they build this right, because Solo looked kind of awkward more tonight than he did last night. It looked good, but tonight he kind of looked like Tribal Chief Jr. There's just pieces in this that are just like, Solo's not a great, he's not a great talker in this environment. He looked good last week, and I felt it, and bringing in Tonga, it was good. This week, it just, because then he's talking to Heyman. And he's like, have we been drafted yet? And then Heyman told him that no, Roman has been withdrawn. And then Solo's like, give me all the details. I didn't feel it. I mean, I'm like, it's like, you could feel like, I don't know if this is the intent, if they're trying to make it feel like it's him forcing himself into the tribal chief. And that's how we're supposed to feel about, like, it's him trying to force himself into this position instead of it feeling natural. Or if he's just not that good at doing it. I don't know if they're intentionally trying to make us realize that he's trying to put himself in the tribal chief, but he's not quite there, because that's how it came off to me. So I don't know if it's intentional or if he just doesn't, Anyways, Tonga comes over and intimidates Paul Heyman. Solo wants Heyman to repeat what he said. Suddenly, Kevin Owens runs up and attacks them both from behind. And they go off brawling, Tonga and Kevin Owens. Post-break, we get another reminder of Cody versus Hayes in the main event. Kayla's on the stage and brings out Bianca Belair. Belair talks about her and Jade's title match with the Kabuki Warriors at Backlash. She hopes Jade is drafted to SmackDown on Monday so they can continue bringing the hurt to Damage Control. Sorry, there's a cat in my lap. I got claws on my legs, so if you saw me jump there, that's what happened. Damage Control is falling apart, and once the tag team titles are off of them, then the Kabuki Warriors won't even have a reason to be on SmackDown. That brings out Asuka and Kairi Sane. They jaw-jacket each other. Then Jade comes out to even up the numbers. More jaw-jacking, but here comes Kevin Owens and Tonga. And they're still brawling. And they fight down the entrance ramp and towards the ring. In the ring now, Owens with the double legs. But here's Solo to attack and keep the odds against Owens. Owens is trying to fight back. Tonga attacks all the security. And then we hear voices in my head. And here comes Randy Orton to save the day. Randy heads to the ring and levels Tonga. Chases them out. Eventually, security personnel separates them. Owens sees Randy there and runs over and hugs Randy. It was weird to see Owens hugging up on Randy like that. They decide they should keep trying to fight, but at this point, no one can get through as the mass of humanity is separated. It was interesting to see Kevin Owens hugging on Randy Orton. Of course, it would later announced in the show that Randy Orton and Kevin Owens will take on the Bloodline. So Tama Tonga and Solo Sikoa will be taking on the team of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens at Backlash. I wonder if this is where we're going to see the debut of Jacob Fatu. We also announced for next week's SmackDown we're going to get the first ever RKO show. So Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are going to give us a show next week. Then we go backstage and we see Bubba Ray Dudley walking out of one locker room. It was a shocker. Now everybody's going to flip off and flip out that Bubba Ray Dudley is biased because he's working with WWE. That's why he hates AEW. And then in a bigger shocker, Devon comes out of the other locker room. Devon back in the backstage area at WWE. I don't know if this is a one-time appearance or if he's coming back in the fold. I think he was a Triple H guy. Maybe they can make peace. Maybe we'll have Devon Dudley working in the back of WWE like he was there for a little while. And we are here with the third round of the draft picks for the night. And SmackDown with their first pick of the third round take L.A. Knight. Yeah. Raw takes Ricochet. SmackDown's number 2 pick. It's the Bloodline, which was Solo, Tama Tonga, and Paul Heyman. That is who was included in the Bloodline. And Raw's second pick in the third round was Sheamus. Sheamus going to continue being on Raw. Hopefully not doing burger after burger after burger after burger. Anyway, Tiffany Stratton heads to the ring, and Bayley has joined the commentary team, and here comes Naomi. And they had a great little solid match between Tiffany and Naomi. Eventually, Naomi fires up with strikes and kicks to the head and a corner bulldog. But then Nia Jax shows up and attacks Bayley, instantly making everything worse. Stratton avoids something, and Jackson shoves Naomi into the ring post to end the match. Naomi won this match at 6 minutes, 17 seconds, result of a disqualification due to the outside interference of Nia Jax. Jax with a body avalanche to Bayley and leaves her lane. Stratton pulls both Bayley and Naomi into the ring for a double prettiest moonsault ever, and she stands tall. I'm willing to bet the official ruling will be a no contest or something, but only Naomi was hit, so logically she won by DQ. So we'll have to see what happens. If we're going to get a 3-way or a 4-way with all these women for the women's title, if that'll be a backlash or if they're going to continue this out, it should be interesting to see. So Nia Jax making her presence felt on SmackDown after being recently drafted to SmackDown.
Well, fortunately, she's been doing the best work of her career, so it's not the worst case scenario. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, at least we'll say her by name now.
True.
Anyways, we're in the back with B-Fab and the Street Profits talk. They got a tag team title shot next week, and it doesn't matter where they get drafted because once they win the tag titles, they'll be back here. This brings out Waller and Theory, who are the greatest, the greatest undefeated tag team in WWE history. You gotta love these two. They're doing this right, doing it way better than anything else. We get Pointless. Bobby Lashley eventually comes up behind him and scares them off. And then we find out the next announcers for the next round in the draft are going to be Hall of Famer Teddy Long and Hall of Famer I don't like ECW JBL, so I wonder how he feels about AEW. That'll be giving the last picks. We get an interview package from the Final Testament, and then we get Teddy Long and JBL. And with the first pick of the final round of tonight's draft on TV, at least, SmackDown takes AJ Styles. Raw then takes Chad Gable, Akira Tozawa, Otis, and Maxine, the Alpha Academy, which means the Alpha Academy is going to stay together. So it'll be interesting to see how that will go. SmackDown takes Andrade, and Raw picks up Kiana James, a big name out of NXT. She's coming to the main roster. And so they go to the Performance Center. They give her a quick video highlight package. They show her wearing a Raw hat. Then Shawn Michaels come over and congratulates her, whispers something in her ear. And that is what we get. We didn't get a recap of Trick Williams winning the NXT title off of Ilya Dragunov. And so Dragunov may be heading to the main roster. A lot of rumors circulating that Dragunov might be picking up a vacated spot that was left vacant by one Giovanni Vinci's spot. We'll have to wait and see if we're going to have a new member of a new Imperium.
Last year.
Yes. In the back, Carmelo Hayes walks and we get a break. Kayla talks with Nick Aldis in the back. The SmackDown general manager feels good about the draft, but he's also got matches to announce. WWE's women's triple threat match: Bayley versus Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. There's one, and there's another one. So I think that's at Backlash. Yes, it's at Backlash. And then the Solo Sikoa Tama Tonga versus Randy and Kevin Owens. All these matches are going to take place at Backlash. So we have a triple threat for the women's title, the WWE women's title at Backlash, and then Solo Sikoa Tama Tonga, the Bloodline, as they're being labeled right now, versus Kevin Owens and Randy. Oh, where are we? I'm lost. I've lost something here. That's what I'm looking at. Okay, cool beans. Commentary reminds us about the draft on Monday. Look at the very large pool of talent. Next week, Cody and AJ face off one last time before their title match. And the New Catch Republic take on the Authors of Pain, plus the tag team title match as well. We'll have our first ever RKO show when Orton welcomes Randy Orton to the show.
I see.
Oh. To the ring, and here comes Carmelo Hayes. A decent little mellow chant for him. And we get a solid match between Cody Rhodes and Carmelo Hayes. Okay, I'm not going to sneeze again. Cody moves and then super kicks, and both men miss springboard moves, but Cody landed worse. Cody still hits Crossroads, though, to get the win. And Cody gets a big win here at 8 minutes, 39 seconds. Hayes remains a very good talent in the ring. Post-match, Cody and Hayes share some words. Cody is still selling the shoulder as he celebrates the win. AJ shows up and might have been thinking about a cheap shot, but Cody saw him, and we just get a stare down between the two men. AJ hints that he was this close to getting Cody, and AJ offers a handshake, which Cody accepts as the episode goes off air. And this is your first night of the draft. This is the first night of what things are to come. Now we got to wait through the weekend. We'll get to Monday Night Raw. We'll see what they bring up on Raw. But I think it was a decent little show here. Not the greatest. Some interesting names got drafted. Nothing polarizing or huge. I guess that Kiana James getting drafted was probably the biggest surprise. Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, them getting drafted up. It just kind of fit. We knew they were all coming. They've been on the main roster, kind of bouncing back and forth. Finally solidifying them on the main roster. I think we're heading in the right direction with that.
See, a lot of people, even before SmackDown ended tonight, felt like the draft kind of felt a little flat. It's like, wait a minute, hold on there. You could see by the way, the safe routes, if you will, happened tonight, that they really expect Raw to be the big ooh, ah for the draft. Tonight was kind of like the pre-show, in a sense. Like some really good, solid picks, but not necessarily the biggest surprises. Or, like I said, the ooh, ah moments.
Yep.
So I think they gave us a good show tonight, but they're hedging their bets on Raw, in my opinion.
Yep. All right. So let's look over. They have announced some of the other draft picks after the show on social media. And we will start from the top here. These are draft picks revealed on social media after SmackDown. Going to SmackDown, a new team or a team that's been quietly being used. They're kind of not been on the main cards yet. But we're going to see Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis. They are going to SmackDown. Raw picks up Albo Fire at Isla Dawn. SmackDown. returning to SmackDown after a pretty long stint in NXT. Baron Corbin is on SmackDown now. And Braun Breaker's going to Raw, so we're not going to see Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker team up anytime soon again.
We're not going to Wolf Dogs no more?
Raw picks up Ivar. SmackDown picks up Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Michin. We know AJ seems to be on SmackDown, so will we see him realign with them at any time soon? And Raw picks up Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks.
Okay.
So those are some of the other names that are out there going in the draft. Let's see if I can find any other names. I mean, that's a pretty decent draw there. Let's go. Just researching, see if any other names or anything else has been dropped at this point. Don't see anybody reporting on anything. No. Yep, there's Cedric Alexander. Ashante the Adonis. That should be an interesting tag team. I wish they'd put them on air. We need more tag teams on the air that are doing that stuff. We definitely need more tag teams in WWE, especially since they seem to be breaking up tag teams here.
And we'll see how that goes. I mean, they used Cedric tonight as his enhancement talent for Braun Breaker, so
yes.
Like,
Was that enhancement talent or just a snack? I mean, that was a 16-second match. I don't know how you could call that in.
Well, as opposed to using the other term that they like to use. I don't want
Barry?
to call Cedric a jobber.
Yeah. No, a good solid show. I think we got some good drafts. Can't wait to see what we do on Monday, see how this all fans out, see what we get into.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, next week we got Backlash in France. Setting up a pretty decent card. Doesn't need to be a big card for a Backlash. I think we just need to get the matches here, get some stories off. They don't have a lot of time, and then we're going to set up for a King and Queen of the Ring, which should be very, very interesting. I think Walter is probably your guy to win the King of the Ring. I think that would be the right place for him to have something. He doesn't have the Intercontinental Championship, and he doesn't need a world title just yet. But if he was King of the Ring, I think that would be a great place for him to have it. I don't see I mean, it would work, but I don't see Walter being a guy that needs the Money in the Bank briefcase. I think there's a lot of other guys that might be better off with. Now, you know who I might give the Money in the Bank briefcase to this year? Finn Balor.
I don't remember if you talked about it on air or if it was off air that we were having that discussion.
I think Finn Balor might be the right person. But I think give Walter King of the Ring, because he doesn't need the Money in the Bank briefcase. He doesn't need the world title just yet, but that at least gives him something to have and to kind of have some prestigiousness and still hold him in a position of being a main event guy. I think it would be very, very interesting to continue to see that play out. Yeah, 4 votes, so everybody's pretty much, it's a good show. We have 1 average, 1 awesome, and then 2 good, so we're right there. So that looks really good, really strong. And we hope that you like the new layout. We're trying to upgrade and build things forward. We have connected with a new partner. If you saw that at the beginning, the Goldmine. They are on Facebook. It's a Facebook group. So if you're a Funko Pop collector, which I have several, I picked up some more. I think there's a Rey Mysterio up here, a Razor Ramon. Even picked up the Mean Gene Okerlund over here. Along with a couple other sets. There's one that's up here somewhere that I'm not going to name. I don't know what I'll do with them yet. But we
Talking
shall
about
see.
that super flop party.
The Flippity Floppity Twins. Generation Me. I got a Generation Me set. At least it's from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, anywho. Hello, Kitty. You came back. You came back. Yes, Kitty. Fairly good SmackDown. SmackDown just getting on air here on the West Coast, unless you watch it on the East Coast variant of it. So that's good. But let's see. This week, there's nothing going on this weekend. We'll be back Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time with your weekly roundup. Me, Mr. Miguel Z, and Paulus, Clarke will all be here to go over everything that went down this week in professional wrestling. We're going to talk about the I don't even know what to call him anymore.
Booking man.
The the brain-celled wonder child. I don't know. I mean, today's statements are just, I don't know what to say.
Sunday for show.
Well, Sunday's going to be a hot show, so you want to be here. 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want to be here. You want to be here live. You want to hear what we have to say about a lot of this. We're going to get into it. We want your feedback in that conversation, so come join us. Tell us what you're thinking. And then, of course, the next week we're back with your Monday Night Raw. And then we may have a surprise guest hosting next week's Dynamite. There'll be a Dynamite review, but it may be none of us. There may be somebody else that's going to fill in and give you a review from their analysis on Dynamite. Tuesdays, of course, is always your New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound podcast. That will come out on Tuesdays. We have the weekend preview every Thursday. Then we'll be back here next Friday with your SmackDown post-show review. And adding to that, are you situated? Okay. Adding to that, we will have Backlash, a post-show review of Backlash next Saturday. So another busy, long weekend coming up in the next weekend. But we'll be here to cover all that and let you know what's going down. Of course, this weekend preview, once we know the card's kind of finalized, we'll kind of give you our ideas what we think is going to happen on Backlash. I don't think it's going to be hard on the prediction side there, but it should be lots of fun. We hope that you'll be here to join us and watch it. And is there anything else you want to add to all this, Mr. Clarke?
Can't wait till Monday, see where all this goes, so we can finally say, hey, now that we're past WrestleMania, now that we're past the draft, what are the news stories that we're going to craft?
Yes. Where do we go from here? It shall be interesting. Can't wait to see this King and the Queen in the ring. And Backlash. Hi. But anyways, you can check out all the links below. Follow us on X. Our names are below right here. Mine's there. Mr. Clarke has his right in front of him. So you can follow us on X. Join in the conversations that we have over there. Join the Facebook group. That link's in the below too. We have the Value Wrestling on Facebook if you're looking to continue to have a conversation about wrestling each and every day. And of course, each and every day you get to learn this date in wrestling history. Over 200 days of doing that, and we are still going strong. Can't wait to see how that all wraps up. So lots of content, lots of video. So make sure you ring that bell for notifications, so whenever we go live or new content comes up, you will be able to get that notification. Give this a big thumbs up, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are at 386 before the show started. We're getting closer and closer to that big 500 number. And of course, like I said, once we hit 1,000, Mr. Clarke's going to do his best Nana dancing impression. Miguel Z has to do a beautiful shoey, and we're going to have a giveaway. What will that be? I don't know. Maybe it'll be a Funko Pop. Maybe it'll be a wrestling figure. We're going to kind of let you have a pick on some of that. But after 1,000, we'll have a giveaway. It'll be a lot of fun. Lots of stuff coming. Lots of growing here. Who knows? Maybe merchandise is right around the corner. Getting really close. And of course, the Value Wrestling newsletter is something that keeps getting thrown around. Could that be something that we see on a Patreon or some type of event? You don't know. It's all stuff that's in the talks. But we are well on our way to getting there, and we're really excited what the future's going to bring. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the Value Wrestling family, because we are coming. We are here to be the contenders, not pretenders. We are going to be the best in this space, and you can believe that. Take it to the bank. Oh, and if you didn't know, you better tell all your friends about the Value of Wrestling. We're going to get out of here. We're going to say goodnight. We're going to say so long, farewell.
It's your boy Miguel Z.
That's not what I wanted to say.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside, when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die.